In the 30s, everyone had eyes for a 5-year-old moppet with 56 curls and dimples. She was talented beyond her years. She was funny, and she made you happy.
Shirley Temple, everybody wanted to be her. Everybody. I wanted to be Shirley Temple so badly I could taste it. She was beautiful, she was rich, she was white. She had golden curls that moved. My hair was so curly that it didn't move. She danced, she sang. Probably she was very likely my earliest influence.
Nothing but affection, and for a real reason. The talent was enormous.
Oh, Shirley, that was the most thrilling meeting of my life. I met Shirley Temple when I was 5 years old, and she was maybe 6, at a restaurant in Los Angeles. My mother had taken me over because she was over visiting, and I was not yet in school. So I was the kid that got to go with my mother, and we went to a restaurant, and I looked across, and there was Shirley Temple. I can remember hyperventilating even then. And my mother said, go over and ask for her autograph. So I went over and did, and she wrote to Joan, sincerely yours, Shirley Temple. She was the most poised little kid. And my mother spoke to her mother. Well, that was the most thrilling meeting probably of my entire life.
It was also the Depression time, and Shirley Temple was the ultimate optimist, the little child, and a little child shall lead us. And she was the leader in telling older people to get back your sense of humor, get back your sense of joy and the wonder of life.
Say, maybe I'll auction off Shirley. Who gives up?
So Shirley sells the cake and then cuts it, doing her bit for infantile paralysis sufferers.
Shirley Temple was, as I was growing up, the darling of movies and stage, and she was just with those curls and that appeal and all her ability to make cute little smart remarks and tap dance. And, you know, it's amazing what a beautiful woman she's grown into.
I saw Shirley Temple in Prague last summer, where she's our ambassador, and I found it awfully hard to connect that woman to some little kid in curls dancing with Bojangles, Bill Robinson, up and down the steps of something.
Well, obviously, having seen Shirley Temple in both roles, it's really quite amazing, because you had this little moppet, this golden-haired moppet, and then you had a woman that grew up. In a way, I often felt very sorry for her, because I kept thinking, everybody's got the same image in their head of her that I do. And how awful to have to say, you know, I've moved beyond the good ship Lollipop. You know, I am now on the ship of life, and we are sailing in another direction.
No, I think that you've all welcomed me very nicely.
This past summer, I was at a conference in Prague, and she's the ambassador there. And we took my daughter, who then was 9, to meet her. My daughter had been and she was incredibly gracious to Julia, and asked if she was going to be a journalist, and Julia said no, she didn't know whether she would be or not. And Shirley Temple looked at her and said, well, maybe you'd like to be an ambassador one day. Lovely.
More of the class of the 20th century in a moment.